This video, I'm definitely going to react to this video.
You've probably seen them. Viral videos of people giving food, money, or even new clothes to the homeless.
Right, right.
On the surface, these moments seem heartwarming, showcasing acts of generosity. But take a closer look, and a troubling reality emerges. These videos aren't just about kindness, they're about clicks, views, and profit, while the homeless person gets a
I feel like people who don't care about others can see things in this way. That's just my personal opinion. But let's go on.
a fleeting moment of help. The person recording, they get paid. Let's talk about
True.
how social media has turned homelessness into content. How these
It's not really content. We don't really call it content. The people who's actually doing the help. Yes, we do record. Yes, we do get paid for these videos, but we also give it back to the people who need it or need some form of help.
so-called acts of kindness strip people of their dignity, and why this trend
Strip
does
people
more
of their dignity. These people are on the street where there's millions and thousands of people already seeing them. So we are not stripping them from their dignity at all. Now, you may feel that way, and if so, comment down below. Tell me how you really feel.
harm than good. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram run on engagement, views, likes, shares, and comments.
It's called bringing
those-
awareness. It's called bringing awareness. These people who have problems with others helping the homeless and recording it, they see these people on the daily just walking by. So they feel some type of way that you could just walk by someone who needs help, someone who just asking for a quarter or just to get something to eat. They just walking right by them.
Numbers, they translate into cold, hard cash. When someone records themselves handing a homeless person a few dollars, they're not just sharing a moment of generosity. They're creating content that generates ad revenue.
It's called human beings want to be heard and want to be seen. That's all it is. Most of them just want to get their story out. Just want you to talk to them, have a conversation, stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, we asking them to be recorded, and they agreeing with it because they don't care. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want to bring awareness to what's going on.
Brand deals, and a growing follower base. If the goal were truly to help, why film it? Why make it public? Why turn it into a spectacle?
Because once again, we are bringing awareness to what's going on. It's one thing to walk and see it, but it's another thing for it to be on a platform where people are really paying attention to. Most of the time, when we outside, we going outside to do whatever it is we're going to do. So we are not focused on that homeless man or that homeless lady as we walk into the hospital or going to work or going to pick up some food. Most moms just think, oh, you're a grown-ass person. You should get a job. But you don't know these people's circumstances. You don't know what happened. But again, no one takes the time out to talk to them.
Because at the end of the day, these videos are about the creator, not the person in need. The homeless individual,
A person that don't help
becomes a
would say
prop
something like
in
that.
someone else's feel-good story, while the person with the camera cashes in. Imagine this. You're at your lowest point struggling to survive, and someone shoves a camera in your face. They hand
All right, imagine that. Imagine struggling to survive and you keeping it to yourself. So not only are you hurting to the public, but you also hurt internally because you ain't sharing your story. You're not saying what's going on. You just keeping it to yourself and trying to figure things out. And that can cause depression. That can really cause depression.
Hand you a sandwich or some money, and before you even process what's happening, they're filming your reaction. You didn't ask to be recorded. Maybe you're too desperate to refuse. Maybe you're just glad someone's helping, even if it feels wrong. That's the reality for many homeless people in these videos.
It's possible.
Even when they agree to be filmed, can they really give true consent? When you're...
Listen, like I said, before they even being recorded, we ask. Some say no, most say yes. The ones that say no still get the help, and the one that says yes, we double confirm. Are you sure you don't mind? Most of them don't mind. Most of them do not mind.
Hungry, when you have nothing, do you have the power to say no?
Yes.
These videos don't just exploit the homeless. They reinforce harmful stereotypes.
People who don't help others or care about others call it exploit. That's what they call it. Now, what do you call the ones that just walk by people who need help? What do we call that?
They show people as helpless, broken, and completely dependent on charity, when
He's
in
just
reality,
chatting now. He's just chatting.
homelessness is a complex issue. Mental health struggles, unemployment, housing crises, none of these problems can be solved by a single act of kindness.
Right. It can be solved, but it's a step to awareness. It's a step to people coming together and helping each other. It's a step. We all need to take steps in life. No one wakes up, everybody doesn't wake up fortunate. Everybody is not born fortunate.
Especially one done for the sake of views. Here's another issue. These viral stunts don't actually fix anything. Sure, handing someone a meal or a few bucks helps for a moment. But what happens when the camera turns off?
So, when the cameras are off, if you could just sit, you could see a homeless person and just sit there and just watch them. Watch them for 30 minutes and you'll see how many people just walk by and not even help. For 30 minutes, you'll see 60 to 75 people walk by that homeless person and won't even help. They'll just look at them and keep it moving.
Where do they go? What's next? Long-term solutions like housing programs, job training, and mental health support aren't viral. They don't get millions of views. They don't generate sponsorships. And because of that, they're ignored. What's worse, these videos create the illusion that homelessness is being solved one viral moment.
It's not even about being solved. It's about helping a person in need. Nothing can be solved with being clothed or being fed. We know that it's a process, but giving a person food, giving a person clothes, giving a person conversation, it creates hope and also bring awareness, like I said, to the world.
Feel good watching them. They share them. They comment things like faith in humanity restored, but then they move on, believing they've done their part just by watching.
We all have a part.
Meanwhile, the person in the video, they're still homeless, still struggling, still forgotten, These videos don't just exploit individuals, they make us forget about the bigger picture.
He's just
They
talking.
reinforce the idea that fixing homelessness is up to random individuals handing out money rather
It's
than
not only
government
about
social
money.
programs.
It's not only about money. It's not only about money. It's also about getting resources. It's also about making them feel like and showing them we see you, we hear you. Here's the steps. I can give you food, I can give you clothes, but you also have to meet me halfway. You have to be willing to want more for yourself. Feeding them and clothing them. You know, I'm from New York, right? It doesn't matter how much money I make. There's steps into me getting an apartment, a car. There's still steps. Doesn't matter how much money I have or how many resources I have. There's steps for everything you do in life. And in order to take these steps, I have to want to take these steps.
And real policy changes. Instead of addressing the root causes, lack of affordable housing, mental health support, and economic instability, social media charity focuses on quick, feel-good fixes. And
Not
as long as
necessarily.
these videos keep going viral, real change takes a back seat. So
when somebody gets murdered, right, and it's on the news, is that exploiting the murderer and the victim, or is that bringing awareness to what's going on in the world and how can we stop this? How can we make change? It's about how can we make change. So if one person is making change, hopefully that one person, that influencer, can influence others to do the same.
what should people do instead? How can influencers and content creators actually make a difference without exploiting the homeless? 1. Raise awareness without exploiting people. Use platforms to talk about the real causes of homelessness, not just for a viral moment, but as an ongoing conversation.
I hear what you're saying.
2. Put the money where it matters.
But it could go both ways.
If a creator wants to make a video about helping the homeless, they should direct all ad revenue to shelters, housing programs, or organizations making a real impact.
See? Now, I'm not saying he's assuming that that's not happening, but you assuming a little bit. You're assuming a little bit.
3. Work with experts. Instead of randomly giving out cash on the street, influencers could partner with shelters and social workers who know what's actually needed.
We do.
4. Respect people's privacy.
You have to understand, right? When we partner with shelters and just resources in general, most of the time you cannot go in there and record. You cannot have a camera inside the facility. You can't. So how do you know that that's not happening?
And dignity. If you want to help, do it off camera. And if you do share a story, let the person tell it themselves on their own terms. At the end of the day, true kindness doesn't need an audience. Real change doesn't come from viral videos. It comes from sustained action.
It's funny. It's funny that he's saying this. It's funny.
Dignity, and from fighting for real solutions. So next time you see a video of someone helping the homeless, ask yourself, who is really benefiting?
It's both people benefiting, because he has a point with, you know, when we record, we generate revenue, but we also give it back to those in need. You understand? And he's talking about exploiting when he's recording, and you can see homeless people in the video. You can see people's faces. what is the difference from you recording and talking bad about those who are recording? There's no difference. But if you're watching this video, comment how you feel, comment what you think, and we are bringing awareness, and we need to help each other.